Hello, everyone, and welcome to MT4 Professional. My name is Randy Lindsay. I'm here to educate and to train you on how the proper use of the MT4 Professional platform on the live edge of the market. Today, we're going to be talking about trading strategies using the MT4 Professional, and we're going to go in depth into the MT4 Professional scanner. If you do have any questions or comments over on the Zoom control panel, there's a chat window. Enter your comment there. I'll be more than glad to get to them in the order that they're received. If you have any questions today, this is today's live Q&A session for July the 11th, 2022. So if you have any questions, please enter those here. I'll be more than glad to give you detailed answers, including on-screen displays and even configurations. So let me know what you need. I want to remind everyone that we are here for educational purposes only. MT4 Professional, Resilient Traders are not investment advisory service. We're not registered trading advisors, so we cannot give you any specific advice. But what we can do is train and teach you how to use our remarkable platform, MT4 Professional, on either MT4 or MT5, and teach you and train you how to build a trading plan that is both consistently profitable and successful. That's our goal. Trading with futures, stocks, Forex, options, cryptocurrency has a large potential for reward, but has a large potential for risk. You need to be aware of the risks involved in order to trade or invest in any of these markets. Please do not trade with money that you cannot afford to lose. Past performance is not indicative of future results, so please get advice from a competent financial advisor before you start trading or investing in any of these markets, and never ever trade in a live account until you have first proven that you can consistently and profitably trade a simulated account. All right, as I said before, I am Randy Lindsay, trade coach, operations director here at MT4 Professional. Joining me in the background is Claudio Cardinelli, he's our product development director and our technology guru. We're going to be talking today about trading strategies on the MT4 Professional platform. We're going to give you background on what a market scanner is and what you should be looking for on MT4 Professional. And of course, I'll give you a live demonstration. And for those of you who aren't already part of our team, we want to make you a very special offer to get you on board to help you start using our platform. And we want to answer all of your questions along the way. So if you do have any question during the presentation, just enter it in the chat panel. I'll be more than glad to get to them in the order that they're received. First off, let's get into the strategies. A lot of people talk about strategies. Strategies are nothing more than rules that get you into the market. A strategy is, okay, I'm going to use an exponential moving average. I'm going to use price. I'm going to use a MACD. Whenever those are configured in a certain way, I want to enter the market. Has to be a certain time of day. So those are all the rules that are based upon your strategy. Your strategy ideally would give you an edge in the market. And so there are a lot of strategies that are available that are out there that people follow and use in order to trade in the markets. EMA and price I mentioned earlier is one example where you're using an exponential moving average and pure price action. And you're looking at buying and selling relative to the position of that moving average. A MACD and signal is another one where with a proper setup can give you very accurate entry and exit signals if you're following a trending market. There's a moving average crossover where you're looking at the price moving relative to multiple moving averages. You got a fast moving average and a slow moving average that crosses over each other, then you've got a potential signal that could give you not only trend direction, but a potential entry or exit. There are multiple configurations that you can put together, like the EMA and price, MACD and signal, throw in an RSI or stochastic, even use your Ichimoku cloud, your Bollinger Bands to go in there to define your specific edge. There are lots and lots of strategies. The ever popular alligator, which is using 3 different moving averages over a much longer period of time to capture the big trends. Well, MT4 Professional Scanner is designed to handle all of these strategies plus many more in real time. So it lets you use the strategy that you want to use, the indicators that you want to use and it even alerts you when your conditions are met for your trade setup. We'll get into that in detail in a little bit later, but first we're going to go right into what a scanner is and what MT4Professional is. So say if you look at all of the symbols that are available to you on the platform. On MT4, there are 54 X pairs, there's 20 CFDs, 9 different time frames. If you do the math, that's 630 different combinations. Now, do you think that you can go through and check and find all 630 of those when they're ready to trade and set up? Most people can't do that, but a scanner can. Ideally, a scanner would be looking for these types of setups for you, looking at different instruments at different times, because not one instrument isn't going to be trending all the time, but there's always going to be some instrument out there trending either up or down. And wouldn't it be nice if something was out there looking for those setups for you and presenting them to you in a nice logical format? You know, if you trade on one instrument, that's fine, but trading on different instruments really is a must if you're going to make trading profitable, because trading uncorrelated instruments is a great way to remove uncertainty on the instrument that you're trading and diversify your portfolio at the same time. So Market Scanner can do all of that for you. So let's lay the groundwork here and kind of define what a screen or what a market scanner should look like. It should be an automatic tool. It should allow you to scan the whole market. It should give you opportunity to select the symbols, the time frame, and even the rules based upon your own indicators. So a scanner should give you alerts and identify when the trades are meeting your criteria. So visually, I would like to see something like you see on the right, where I have a list of symbols and I have like a spreadsheet format that shows me for every symbol I'm interested in or any time frame I might be looking for. I would see an array of signals, basically saying go, no go, red, green, buy, sell, bullish, bearish. All of these things can be defined in a nice cellular matrix like this with very quickly, where I can just scan through real quick, look at the series or the sequence of colors on the screen to determine which ones are going to be bearish, which ones are going to be bullish, and then which ones are in transition, which ones are getting ready to either go bullish or bearish. And so those are some very important information that you're looking at. So if I had a moving average crossover, say I wanted to see the fast moving average cross over the slow, that would be a bearish cross. And if I wanted to see the fast moving average cross above or on top of the slow, then that would be a bullish cross. So anytime that occurs for any symbol or time frame, I would like to see a green signal for a bullish cross and a red signal for a bearish cross. That would be ideal. And that would give me really good signal to trade from. That's the idea behind a scanner. Another example would be to look at multiple instruments across different asset classes and multiple time frames to not only look at what I'm currently interested in trading at, but maybe even branching out and fully diversifying my portfolio so that I'm always going to have a potential trade setup in any of the markets that I'm looking for. So if I'm looking for EMA and price, that's pure price action closing over an exponential moving average. I want to see a green sell anytime that price is greater than, and I want to see a red sell anytime price is less than that 15-period exponential moving average. So over on the right, there's a good example showing you the different asset classes, the different time frames, and which ones are bullish or bearish. Right now, the Canadian dollar looks like the only one that is bullish across the board. Several of them are bearish across the board, and there are quite a few that are looking at transitioning. If you got a shorter or longer term bull, but a shorter term transition, then all we need to wait for is the close of the 5-minute to go into that. That's absolutely right. Can you use it on the US 30? Absolutely. I even have it on the screen here showing the US 30 versus the US dollar as a CFD on the screen here. So you can set that up and trade that directly. If you wanted to trade the future contract directly, you would have to contact the broker to find out if they have data for the futures contracts. But absolutely, the bonds, you can trade the bond CFD directly on MT4 or MT5. So we're talking about multiple time frames quite a bit, but did you know that if you trade with using multiple time frames, that you have a higher probability of a profitable trade? Well, it's due to correlation. It's just one of the advantages of using multiple time frame technical analysis. So if you look at the charts on the right, you can see 3 different time frames: 15-minute, hourly, and 4-hour. If you look at the 4-hour, it's fairly strong and very clean looking. If you look at the hourly chart, you can see that it's starting to get all choppy. Within each one of these long periods of trend, you can see within it several choppy periods on the hourly. And on the 15-minute, you can see those same choppy periods within the hour, and then each one of these are spread out over the 4 hours. So you can see noise, a little bit less noise, fairly clean. So you have clearly defined corrections or reversals within a trend pattern. So looking into these trades, if you are trading a 15-minute chart and you're trading in harmony with the longer time frame trend, then you're going to have a higher probability of making successful trades if you're trading in the same direction as the longer term trend. It just goes without saying. If you're trading short or corrections against the longer term trend, then you know one or two things. One, it's not going to last very long, or two, you better take your profits pretty quickly because it's going to turn and start moving right back in the opposite direction again. So it helps you to have a lot more confidence. It puts you in front of higher probability trades, and you're going to have a lot less risk because you're going to be trading in the direction where the majority or major trend is moving. Okay, so if you had a market scanner that could search for these types of setups based on your rules, using your own indicators, verified by multiple time frame analysis, that would be an extremely valuable tool. A little bit more about multiple time frame technical analysis. Here's a chart setup where I'm looking at multiple time frames. I have 4-hour, a daily, and a weekly. The crosshair shows the location to where I see a bullish signal on my strategy on the 4-hour chart. I can see a crossover of my 15 period. I see a crossover, bullish cross of my MACD, and I have a rising relative strength showing me greater than 30 and trending long. So those are the criteria I look for to try to get long. Then I need to look to see if I have a MACD crossover and bullish relative strength on the next higher time frame. And last but not least, I need to look at the last time frame to determine if I have a bullish relative strength. With all 3 things of those in line, I know that I can confidently go bullish on the setup because I have short, medium, and longer term trends reversing and going in the direction at the same time. So with that bullish setup, you can see that I have a bullish setup. My weekly chart showed bearish, but that only showed bearish along the line of the trend, because you can see that the trend is still bearish, but the trade strategy here was bullish. So that's the idea behind that. This ended up yielding about 300 pip on the trade, and that was a really nice setup. So by taking trades in harmony with the longer time frame, I get lower risk trade opportunities and higher probability trades. That's a powerful combination for any trader. It shows the importance of using multiple timeframes in your trading. So a market scanner that uses multiple timeframe analysis is an extremely valuable tool because it does all of this work for you automatically. The only problem that we ran into when we were going out looking for a scanner to do this for us was that we didn't find any. What we did find was either too complex to configure, which meant you had to be a programmer to use the thing. They were unstable, or maybe even a single tool that was not integrated with the entire system. They were incompatible with a lot of the standard indicators you would think and expect to be used. And there were a lot of other issues. So our create our own. So we got to work and sat down and for our own trading developed MT4Professional. The scanner itself has now become the #1 scanner on both MT4 and MT5. What was originally made for our own trading has now become almost an industry standard for scanning across the platforms. So when you find a good setup, MT4Professional allows you to enhance your technical analysis, and by adding multiple time frame analysis, which really isn't easy to do on MT4 and MT5. And I'll show you an example here in just a minute of how difficult it is to do multiple time frame analysis on MT4. And then we'll show you how easy and simple it becomes using the MT4Professional platform. So going right into the demonstration, let me go and pull that up. My MT4 platform. This is standard MT4. You can see how familiar it is to you. You can see the setups. These are just 3 different chart windows. Here I am using multiple time frames, the Euro-US dollar on a 15, 30, and hourly chart. You can see that if I'm looking for a specific location, i.e. maybe the location of this this trend moving down, then you can see at this point that I need to locate, say right here. I want to look at this time and this location. That is a 7-11, 12:30 time frame. So if I were to move over to this chart, you can see that, okay, 12:30, there, this location. Now I have to look back at the other chart and kind of see where it was. I can't visually locate it, but it's, okay, there it is there. Now I have to go back over here and find that. Now I need to go over to this chart and find this exact same item location right here. Okay, and then see if they're already, so I can see this is a much longer term trend already in. So this is taking a trade in the direction of the longer term trend. I should be able to take this and realize maybe a 41 pip trade, maybe even a 35 pip trade if I held on a little bit past the reversal signal there. But the idea behind it is to see it. But it's difficult at best to be able to see that on these charts. Also notice that I have 3 different charts. So if I needed to change and look at maybe the Euro Yen relative to the US dollar, then I would have to drag and drop the symbol from one to the other for all 3 of these, just to be able to do that type of analysis and check it out that way. And from that, it's not real easy. Now I'm gonna have to go back to my Euro US dollar. It's just not real easy to do. I need to get a little bit bigger screen, but anytime I go bigger, you can see that I'm gonna have to physically resize my windows just to be able to fill my screen. And if I wanted to go to full screen mode, you can see that the dilemma here. I have to move this one out and then move it over and then resize each one. I could use the window screen and tile them, and that works. So when I go back in, again, I don't have to go back in, okay, and retie them. But that only works if you have windows that are all the same size. Say, for example, that you don't have windows that are the same size. Say you have 2 windows that are different size and 1 window that's much larger or smaller. See, so here are 3 that are the same size, but here are 2 different ones that are different sizes. So if I were to now go back into my reduce mode, notice how it clipped all of my windows. If I wanted to try to resize any of them, then it's going to mess my whole layout up, because there's nothing here that allows me to rearrange all of these automatically and keep the same size aspect ratio that's currently there. I have to physically resize each one of these individually, which is kind of a pain, especially if I want to be able to go back and forth between, full screen, full mode like this, or back again. So taking advantage of your real estate is important. So let's go into MT4Professional. MT4Professional is set up as a profile within MT4. And the first thing that you're going to see when you launch it is a control panel and a option to select a configuration. Now, if the configurations are ones that you've already created, or you can choose from ones that already come preloaded with the software, but you select one and click the load button, and it will automatically load charts and scanners on the list to get you going, already set up just the way that you want it. The templates, the setup for the strategies, the tools, everything is just the way that you wanted it to be. First thing I want you to notice is when I go back into smaller minimal screen, notice how all of the windows automatically resized, automatically taking advantage of all of the real estate on the screen. So when I go back into full screen mode, boom, there it is, already back in. Second, I want you to notice that when I click on any symbol on my symbol list, watch the symbols on my charts change instantly. One-click integration. All the charts changed, they're updated, and everything is looking exactly the same. So I can very quickly identify a trade setup, rifle through them, and then see the setups and whether they are ready to go or not. Thirdly, notice the blue crosshair that dynamically moves across all three charts. So any chart that I come across that I see, maybe a double top pattern or some setup that gives me a possible advantage, then I can click on the screen once, freeze the crosshairs, and see the physical location of both time and price across any of the charts that I'm looking at trading. Very, very nice to be able to use that and to see the advantages of that. Also, the configurations are all saved in the cloud, so you don't have to worry about losing any data. All of the data is stored for you so that once you set it up, then you can forget it. You can even mess it up and make it something totally different, like going in here and putting in a different template from something. So you can set the thing up to make it look completely different. This is totally different from anything that you've done. So you would have to either remember the templates that you're using, or all you have to do is just click on any other symbol, and it automatically goes back to the original configuration that you had without missing a beat. It's really nice. And everything, like I said, is backed up in the cloud. So even if your hard drive crashes, you won't lose your configurations. All you have to do is get a new hard drive, reload the software, and you're up and running already. All your strategies and everything are all backed up for you. So let's take a quick look at this configuration. This is the EMA and price strategy. So let's load that and see what that entails. I'm sorry, I clicked the wrong button. I'm at edit. Let's take a look at it. On the edit panel, then you can see that there are two different options. On the right-hand side, you can see a big picture of charts. That's a giant button. If you click on it, it allows you the ability to edit and set up all of your charts just the way that you like them. I like one big chart on the left, two small charts on the right, just the way that you see it on the screen here. I can set it up differently. I can make this a little bit different size. I can add a new window. I can change and make it a different time frame, say maybe a 5. I can apply the template that I've already selected, or click the plus sign, go out and select any template that I have available. So not only am I looking at EMA price here, I'm looking at EMA with 2 moving averages, a 20 and a 50 EMA crossover. All right, so using a 5 minute, and this one then I'll select as a 15, this one I'll select as a 30, and this one I'll select as an hourly. So that way I can have all the different charts set up. And I don't have to have the same template selected for any of them at the same time. So if I select OK, I can arrange these charts or just go ahead and select OK, save. That will save my configuration, close the window and load it. Then you'll see I have 4 charts now, of which the first one's a 5, 15, 30, hourly. And the first one, if you notice, has 2 different moving averages on it rather than just one, like are on the other ones. Okay. Also notice that the scanner didn't update with the changes in the time frames that I did on my charts. Well, that's because I didn't change it. So if I hit edit and I go back into my charts, then I can set up all of my charts, or I can go into my scanner and configure my scanner. My scanner is set up as a 1 minute, 5 minute, and 15 minute. So if I want to change it to a 5, 15, 30 hourly, then I can just update the time frames here, make that a 5, make this one a 15, make that one a 30, click the plus sign. There's my hourly. All I have to do is turn on the color rule and it's ready to go. Now I have a scanner that has 4 different time frames on it. Hello? 4 different time frames that are scanning for the same strategy on multiple time frames, just like that. And to get rid of them or to change them or get them back the way they were, just go back into the edit, go back to your layout, get rid of one of the time frames that you had. So you wanted to move that back over there, down a little bit like that. You want this one to be the full length of the side there. This one will be a 5 minute, but I don't want that one. I want to use the regular EMA and price. I want it to be a 5, 15, and 30. That's what I want to set up. So okay. I'm going to go over here to my scanner. I'm going to do the same thing. I got 5, 15, 30. I don't need the hourly one. Select OK, save, and you're back in business again. I have a 5, 15, 30. Back to the 5, 15, 30 setup using all of the same charts just the way I like it. Very, very easy to set up and configure. Now notice a lot of my symbols have these -E symbols after them. A lot of them do. So if I'm going to be trading, then these are the ones I trade with. If I do sim mode, then these are the ones that I would use. And so different brokers have different configurations. So here under the gear, it's very easy to set that up. So this postfix is fixed. So all I have to do is type it into the box here in the instance settings. And anytime it sees any symbol, whether it's a regular symbol, it'll accept it. Or if it has a postfix on it, then it'll also accept it and know that all those symbols are valid. So all you have to do is just let it know ahead of time. Any questions as we progress on? I'm going to go through a MACD. Where is that at? MACD and signal. This one's looking at 3 different time frames, 15 minute, 30 minute, and hourly. But you can see that I have my chart set up as 15, 30, hour, and 4 hour. Okay, so those are just different ways of setting it up. I can get rid of one or I can add one, anything that I like. All right, so I'm looking for setup. So let me go ahead and configure it, edit, look at the scanner and see what the rules are that enable me to do that. So under the 15 minute, you can pull down the color rule, which is, I called it trade signal. It can be called anything that you like. Click the chart edit button here, and that pulls up the rules that you use in order to check to see if you have a signal or not. Now, this condition is only looking at the MACD indicator. The MACD indicator has two different outputs. There's the base indicator line and there's the signal line. If you look on a chart, then you can see that the chart has a histogram, which is referred to as the base indicator, and the red line, which is the signal line. Anytime the base indicator is greater than the signal, then that's a bullish indication. Anytime that the indicator is less than this red signal line, that's a bearish indication. So I want to see on my scanner a red colored cell if the base indicator is less than the signal line. Base indicator less than the signal line. That would be a bearish indication. Or if that's not true, it's going to evaluate the second condition set. The same MACD histogram, the base indicator, I'm checking to see if it's greater than the MACD signal line. If this is true, then it's going to color my cell green. It's indicating a bullish cross. If neither of these are true, which they can't be because this one's less than or equal to and that one's greater than, so they will always be either green or red. But if I didn't have this condition, then I could have by default a yellow color if neither of these are true. I just happen to call it a trade signal. That's the name I gave it. You can give it any name that you like that describes this. And then once you're done with this, then you select OK. Now notice there's a plus sign here. This allows you to add multiple conditions. So if I wanted to include a moving average crossover or anything with momentum, then I could add those indicators here as well if I wanted to check for more than one indication on my chart. Okay. And then with that trade signal color rule, I have it applied to the 15-minute time frame with this check mark here. I also have it applied to the 30-minute and the hourly. I could add another time frame or take away the time frame with just one click of a button. And to turn it on, all you have to do is just simply either click this, that turns the strategy off. So now it's only going to scan on the 15 and hourly. It'll still display your 30, but it won't have any color on it, or you can turn it back on. And now you've got scanning being done on all three time frames. Once you've tested it and proven that it's giving you good, accurate signals, then come in here to the real-time notifications panel, check this, and click OK. That will automatically start sending you real-time notifications through the MT4 platform notification center and through MT4Professional's notification system. The MT4Professional notification system, let me pull that up for you. And this is just a simple browser that's logged into MT4Professional's members area. So when you go to MT4Professional.com and you are a member, all you have to do is click the sign in button to enter the members area. You go into the members area. Of course, we walk you through the onboarding process to help get you going and fully online. But if you look at the small little bell that's up here on the top, this is the notification panel. Here you can see any notification that's sent to you through the system, alerting you to a trade opportunity through MT4Professional. We also have an announcements panel that shows you when new versions of the software have been pushed out and are ready for you to download. When you're ready to download, all you have to do is just click one of the buttons, either MT4 or MT5 to download the software to your computer and click one time to install it onto your MT4 platform. Then it runs for you in the background. Let me move my browser out of the way. Get this back done. So any questions on this before we get moving again? Ramon asked, how do you get the charts again? Okay, let me cancel this out. You get the chart set up over here by going to the select configuration button right here. Find the configuration that you want to use, click the edit, and then on the right hand side you can see the charts. It's a big picture of it, but it's like it becomes a button. So you can just click on it, and then that way you can configure and set up your charts to be anything that you like. So I'll go ahead and show you that you can change it around. I want to take this hourly chart down here. I'll move my 30-minute chart over here. And I'll make my 15-minute chart full screen. And then you reload it. You always reload it if you make any changes and updates. That's exactly how you get to it, and that's how you do it. Any questions then so far? Good. All right, so you can see that. So if you're looking to check and to see if these are valid or not, okay, then we're looking to see if the histogram is either greater or less than. We want to see the histogram greater than the signal line, then we will see a bullish signal. 15-minute tells us that. 30-minute, we see the histogram greater than the signal line. That's bullish. The hourly says that it's bearish, so let's go see. And sure enough, you can see that the histogram is less than the line, showing us a bearish configuration. So while these are very overwhelmingly bearish overall, you can see that the histograms are starting to show a rollover and a potential for a reversal in the market. And all we need to see now is for the histogram to start giving weakness, showing that the crossover and potential change is now complete. Now it's got a little bit early on the other time frames, but as you know, most times they come in premature. So trading in harmony with the longer time frame gives you a much cleaner and easier trade setup because you're avoiding these types of whipsaws and noise when you're trading in harmony with the longer term trend. That's the idea behind it. All right, I want to show you something real quick. If you go back to MT4Professional's members area and you click on the real-time scanner, what this does is it pulls up for you the live scanner. So say that you're here at your computer, you're working away, and you need to step out for lunch. You need to go meet somebody. You don't want to be tied down to your computer, but you don't want to lose a trade that looks like it's possibly getting ready to set up. So what you do is you open up your browser on your mobile device, like your tablet device, your mobile phone, your laptop. Log into the members area, click on the real-time scanner, and then select the account that you currently have your MT4Professional running on. Of course, you can have it running on multiple computers and you can have multiple accounts at the same time. So make sure you select the correct platform and account that you have running. And what it will do is it'll automatically go out, download from the cloud the setup of your scanner and offer it to you here on your mobile device through the browser. Now you can see that the same setups that are here, you can see that are right here on my platform. So I'm now going out to eat and I'm not even back at my platform. I want to see the status of this switch over here. So I click one time on the pound US dollar to see if that has turned over yet. And what it does is it automatically gives me a snapshot of my charts and gives it to me right here in real time. So I can see what it looks like currently and whether the setup is good or not. I want to see if the euro is back on that. So I just click on it and it does the exact same thing. Goes out, retrieves the euro US dollar and gives me a snapshot of the setup for me to be able to look at to see if it's ready to go or not. Very quick, very easy to do, and you take it with you anywhere. So MT4Professional is mobile. It goes where you need to go and it doesn't bind you into your computer. Now you do still have to keep your MT4 platform running when you're gone. So you're not limited in any way from that perspective, but you do have to keep it set up and running so that you can access it from your mobile device. There's also one other thing I want to show you. If you click the edit button on the configuration, notice the little share icon in the bottom right-hand corner. This allows you to share your MT4Professional configurations with anyone else on the platform or on the network. So if you're working with 3 or 4 other traders on the same setups, then you can share your configurations, your symbol lists, and your scanner setup with them with just one click of a button. So click on this button, type their name in, just 3 letters is all you need. And it'll go through and search for the individual that you are looking for. Once you find them, then all you have to do is click the share button and it automatically shares this configuration that you have selected with them. That's all you have to do. Very easy, very simple to do. And once you've shared it with them, they've got it and they can pull it up and start editing or using it right away. Custom configurations. A lot of people want to know if you can use it with custom configurations or not. So let me see if I can use one. Okay, I'll pull up my Hawkeye setup. Hawkeye is a custom tool that I've made that helps to see and identify setups using volume spread analysis and volume trading. So you can see that the scanner is going through and looking at specific setups, just like the other ones were. But notice that I have multiple colors in a single column. Like for the 5-minute, I'm not only looking at one item, I'm actually looking at 3 different items at the same time for alignment. In the second time frame, I'm looking at 2 different items. And in the third time frame, I'm only looking at 1. So when they start working together, then I can see, like for the euro pound, is the only one that has nice red uniform all across the board. Look at that. Red, red, red. Everything's in line. Everything's set up and ready to go. That's what I want to see when I'm trading in harmony. Now you've got some that are just starting to transition or change, like the dollar Swiss. You can see that it is in a bear trend, but you're just starting to see volume change, which means weakness is just starting to come into the shorter time frame. It might just be a simple correction, life cycle change, switch over, or it could actually be the start of a full-fledged correction. So you'll be able to identify these things and see them in real time as the scanner goes through and looks at these things. Now these Hawkeye tools, if you look at the data window, whenever you scan over a window, the data window displays the output of the indicator that you're using. So the trend indicator has a long, a short, and a neutral output into the data window. So if MT4Professional is going to use this indicator, it needs to know from the output what to look for. So I know that if I'm going to look for a long signal, I need to see that the long output is greater than 1. Now notice that the short output here is greater than 1. I mean, greater than 0. I'm sorry, I said 1, I meant 0, because normally they're just blank whenever they're not on. So if I were to take my mouse now and move it over the bullish side, notice that the bullish long setup here is now greater than 0, and the short went away. And if I move over to the short is now there. So the idea behind that is to probe and scan looking for these changes. Sorry, I had to sneeze, so I had to mute myself. But I hope you didn't catch that. So under the configuration, if you click the edit button, you go through and look at your scanner configuration. Then you're looking for multiple setups. My trend color rule is a color rule that I'm looking for the trend and stops indicator 1. That's the output 1, which I showed you was the long signal. Output 2 is the short signal. Output 3 is the white or neutral signal to show me when I'm in congestion. So if that long signal is greater than 0, then I want that cell to be colored green. Otherwise, I want it to be colored red. It's one or the other. Next thing I would be looking for would be the other indicator, volume. Volume has 3 outputs, the same, green, red, and white. So if you look at it, then you're looking at the same thing. You want to see if that volume first line indicator, which is the bullish one, is greater than 0. The second output from that is the bearish one. Is it greater than 0? The third output is white. Is it greater than 0? That'll tell me if that setup is true or not. So I do that for all of the instruments. On my 15-minute time frame, I don't really care about the trend. I'm only looking at the volume and the momentum. And the third time frame, all I care about is the volume. If all of those are aligned, then I know that I have a strong confirmed trade in the direction I'm looking at trading it. So when I put that scanner on multiple time frames, then you can see I'm trading it across multiple time frames. Not only do I have a higher probability the trade goes in my favor, but I have it in line with volume, which is really the only leading indicator that we've got. All right, so that's how you integrate and use it with custom indicators. Very simple and easy to use and to set up. And if you need any help along the way, we're always going to be here to help you, to hold your hand, to get you going, and to make sure that you get it set up properly. All right, so let me get back to my presentation here, because I want to make you a special offer. For those of you who aren't already using MT4Professional, then I want to make you an offer today to help you get going. You're not going to be paying this, obviously, but I'm showing you the value that we apply to the different platforms. You get full-fledged, full-featured MT4Professional on both MT4 and MT5. You get access to our Skype community of traders. You get access to an unlimited configuration storage, emails, and push notifications. And you get up to 100 SMS notifications every single month included. You get all 14 of our pre-configured configuration files, the strategies that I was showing you, plus others that give you the ability to get started right away. We value this around $22.95, but you're not going to pay that, obviously. We want to set an initial price for as $194, which is what we did when we first started. But we found out that during our presentations, we get a much better response if we offer a discount. And so that's what we've done. We've knocked it down 50% off. Got it under $100, made it $97 per month with a 14-day free trial. If you click the link mt4professional.com/trial, let me see if I can't get that here. Copy link. There you go. If you take that link and click on that, then you'll be able to get started with your own copy of MT4Professional and the scanner and all the software that I've shown you today. This discount isn't just for 30 days. It's not for a quarter. It's a lifetime discount applied to your subscription. So you're getting 50% off for the life of your subscription. But during the 14-day trial, you pay absolutely nothing. You get it for 14 days to try it out, use the strategies we've already built for you, start making some good money, and then come back and start your subscription, or cancel at any time during the 14-day trial. You owe absolutely nothing, as long as you cancel before the end of the 14-day trial. And we send you 3 or 4 different emails to help remind you so that you're not going to be forgetting that. That's the last thing we want to do, is charge you if you're not interested in using it. We don't want that to happen at all. So use the free trial to kick the tires, to find out. Use my services to help get you installed and make sure that you have all of your questions answered, and then show you how easy it is to not only make $97 in one session, but to make that every single day for the entire month. Let me get the platform back up again to see if there are any other questions that you might have. Before we do that, just want to make sure that you know support@mt4professional.com is the email address to get a hold of us. So support@mt4professional.com is the email to contact us to get a ticket or answer any questions that you might have on that. Do you have any questions with regards to the software, the setup, the configurations? This is a little bit more complex setup, where I'm looking at a MACD and crossover, EMA and price. I'm looking at a relative strength trend. So if I looked at the configuration for this and edited the scanner rule, you can see that it's a little bit more complex. I have a signal. I can have a weekly trend if I'm looking at it. And then the signal itself, like I had before the MACD rule, I also included the EMA and price rule, where I'm looking at current price, either greater than or less than the 15-period exponential moving average. And I'm looking at a slope of my relative strength. So I'm looking to see if my relative strength is going up or it's going down. So if all of those are true, then that's a bearish setup, a strong signal, and I want this to be ready to go. If that's not the case, then it's going to evaluate the bullish condition. If neither one of these are true, then it's going to give me by default the yellow color saying that it's not quite ready. Hold your horses. It'll be coming around pretty soon. Okay. And it's doing it for 3 different time frames, and I can set it up any way that I like. Question: what's the difference between MT4 and MT5? MT5 is the newest platform that MetaQuotes is putting out, and they are trying to create a bunch more features, more time frames, more capabilities for EAs, more tools. So it's supposed to be the next generation of platform. But what's happened is when it came out, it hasn't become stable enough yet for mass approval. It's a nice platform. It's easy to use. And it's, for most part, works well, but it still has a lot of instability. And a lot of the brokers that are out there have institutionalized and standardized the MT4 platform as the initial platform they introduce their traders on. So MT4 has just got a lot of momentum and a lot of indicators and a lot of systems built around it. And so both MT4 and MT5 are essentially the same platform, but they're trying to get everyone to move to the MT5 platform as the new upgraded platform. Just haven't gotten there yet. MT4 does have some time frames that are that limit it. So if you're looking at the setups on the thing, then the time frames that are up here are, limited. 1 minute, 5 minutes, 15, 30, 60. And that's about it. If you wanted to trade something in between, you really could. An MT5 offer gives you a lot more flexibility and offers you a lot more ability to do that. Now you can go offline and then calculate and create your own time frame charts. You just won't be able to use those online. That's the only difference there. Other questions? Well, if you see in the chat panel, the link to get started with us is mt4professional.com/trial. Type that in, check the box for the 14-day free trial. Give us a try. Check to see if this isn't going to be working for you or not. A lot of our users are finding the initial presets we provide for you are proving to be very profitable for trade setups and identifying the trends, especially if you are already an existing trader. If you're not, then it at least gets you a starting point and helps point you in the right direction. So give us a try. You have absolutely nothing to lose to give us 14 days, 2 full weeks to see if it's going to work for you or not. And if you have a question in between there, make sure you contact us at support@mt4professional.com and we'll guarantee we'll get back to you within 24 hours. Most of the time, it'll be within an hour. Are there other questions then? Anything else you'd like me to show you, or any custom configuration, an indicator that you're looking at using? Would it work with it or not? I was able to help out 3 different clients today with questions and setup questions on changing timeframes and symbols, getting the correct symbols integrated into their system, and with using templates. So, what kind of computer do you recommend? A PC is probably the best. If you're using a Mac, it will work, but it just most of the time will use too much resources to really be effective for trading. So I'd recommend you use a PC. Microsoft Windows operating system. Does the system itself should be you know, a high-end, not a high-end system, but a good speed system, one which is relatively new, within 3 to 5 years. If you have an older system, then you might be taxing it, but we've set our settings so that we're accommodating. So if you have a slower computer, then you can always set the scanner down in speed to accommodate, so it's not going to overrun your computer. If you have a fairly modern computer, then a medium or fast speed would be more than enough to get you what you need. And then all the software runs directly on your Windows operating system. A laptop would be perfectly fine. There are a lot of really nice laptops that are available that a lot of our clients, and even I, use a laptop as well. So absolutely, if you find a nice laptop, then the system will run perfectly on your laptop. And if you have other questions related to that, you can always contact us at support@mt4professional.com, and we'll be glad to answer your questions. You're welcome. Are there other questions then? We're about out of time. All right. Well, thank you very much for your time and your attention. It's always been my pleasure. It always is. I'll be here this exact same time in 2 weeks for another live installment of MT4 Professional sessions. So please join me then. Come with your questions if you have any, and I'll be more than glad to answer them and get you going along. If you need any help in between, just contact us at support@mt4professional.com. And don't forget to get your very own copy by clicking on mt4professional.com/trial and get your trial started today. Thank you for your time and attention. Have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you in the Skype chat room. Bye for now.